Okay, so then few things. First of all, guys, compulsory theory is very important. So theory is very important. So because of in interview and as well as for understanding, the theory is very important. Okay. Next is a practical. Practical means how do you do few things practically, step by step. You must able to tell. So that is also very important. Not every step means not next also you don't need to tell. The important points in the step, important points in the steps you must tell. So here it is. When you come to the Windows server, so compulsory you have to discuss about what is a server. What is a server? Okay. Which Windows server you are using? Which Windows server you are using? What are the minimum requirements? What you use is different. And use the words properly. Use the words properly. Okay. Okay. So as you see, like I download VM. VM you are not downloading. You are downloading VMware workstation application you are downloading. Okay, so use the proper words, so then it is convey the proper message. You didn't download VMware also, you download VMware workstation application. Okay, you downloaded it, so 16 Pro version you are using, and you create a virtual machine in the VMware workstation. Okay, and you install a Windows Server 2019 operating system in the server, in a virtual machine. Okay, so that's like a give the sentence with more clarity, so then other person the in an interviewer think you are well prepared or well trained. Okay, if you tell off of kind of stuff, and the guy will think you don't know anything, just you are covering up. Okay, just you don't know anything, just you are try to cover up or whatever the things you don't know that one, but still you try to cover up. And it is like a voice thing in a college days. Okay, we don't know, but we are trying to cover up. Okay, so don't do that one. Different services, not only these services, any other additional services also you can use it. These are a direct roles of the Windows server, direct roles of Windows servers. Of course, there is a few more extra is also there. Few more extra is also there. Next, okay. So difference between peer-to-peer, server client, and workgroup and domain is compulsory required. Guys, there is a very important question for any kind of interview is work group and domain. It's the most common interview question. So compulsory, what is a domain? Centralized administration. What is a work group? Decentralized administration. Okay. In a domain, central server is authenticate all users in the domain. Central server controls all the systems in the domain. Okay, in a work group, individual PCs are having an administrator account. Individual PCs authenticate their own users. Individual users having their own user information, so they can authenticate them. Okay, so no centralized authentication, authorization, administration is there in the work group. But in a domain, so central server authenticates, central server stores user information, computer information in it. User is created in the domain and log into the domain client. User is created in the domain controller and we log in the domain computer. Okay, user is created in a domain controller and we log in into domain computer. So that's very simple to easy to tell what is the domain and domain Active Directory kind of stuff. Okay, so we can easy to share and securely share the resources in the domain environment. That's very simple to tell. What is Active Directory domain? Logical boundary of users and computers. Very simply say, so I have a computers. All those computers are belongs to my domain. Okay, I have a 50 computers are there in the network, but out of 50, only 30 computers in the domain. So those 30 computers are logically belongs to my domain. Okay, so that is logically boundary of users and computers. Active Directory is a directory service maintaining Active Directory database and authentication services. Active Directory database stores user identity, computer group, resources, services like that. It will stores that information. Also authenticate users and computers when they log into network. Okay, meaning is Active Directory database. Okay, the database name I given. Yes, I given. Okay, the database name is ntds.dit. Database name is ntds.dit. The default storage of a ntds.dat is c:/windows/ntds folder. In that one, ntds.dat stores. New technology directory service, directory information tree. Okay. The physical server, what is a domain controller? It's nothing but a physical server which is their ADDS role and configured as a domain controller. Okay. So what is this domain controller and database? Which is having a information of user. You create a users, groups, computers, like that. So computer means domain computer accounts we create in the database. Okay. And also authenticate users and computers when they log in. What is that meaning? When our user is login into a computer, or maybe user is accessing a printer, when our user is accessing a storage, your Active Directory database verify user identification first. If user is correct, user information is correct, so then it will give you authentication. And authentication is done, then it will give you authorization, means your right to access permissions loaded. Okay, so there is a two authentication protocols we use in the Active Directory, mainly Kerberos. Second one is LDAP protocol. Okay, both we will use it. So importance of a Kerberos is Active Directory means Windows services. Guys, Active Directory services not available in any other operating systems or any other server technologies. Active Directory belongs to Microsoft Windows. Active Directory services are belongs to Microsoft in Windows, introduced in 2003. Okay, that's it. Active Directory concept, Active Directory hierarchical model is introduced in 2003, but Active Directory means it's a Microsoft service. For example, DHCP, Windows servers will give you DHCP, Linux server will give you DHCP, my router is also giving DHCP. DNS, Windows server will give you DNS and Linux server will give you DNS, like that. Okay. So WDS is a Windows related, WS is also Windows related, but deployment services are belongs to Windows WDS, and in another Linux is also giving deployment services for a Linux related kind of stuff through network. VPN firewalls will give you VPN services. Windows servers are giving VPN services, like that. Web servers. Here it is IIS name. In Microsoft, IIS means web server. Linux will you give you web servers. Linux also will give you web server like Apache, HTTPD services. Okay, Tomcat, Glassfish. These are all web services only. Okay, like that, file services, different type of file services. So different operating system, open protocols are there. But Active Directory, Kerberos Authentication Protocol, array belongs to Microsoft Active Directory only. So it is a Microsoft Windows only providing Active Directory services. Next one is in a central authentication system. Active Directory means centralized database and centralized authentication system. Okay, centralized authentication. So when a centralized authentication means, so whenever you log into any PC, authentication request go to domain controller, verify username and password, it will authenticate your PC. That is centralized authentication. So that's why I separately written host authentication services. So it is a strongest authentication services, strongest authentication, more flexible and strong. A lot of people think Linux is a very secure one. We should use only Linux, like that. Yes, of course. Linux is so open type, but you have to create the security of a Linux purely depends upon the administrator. In a security of a Linux, Windows is, even though you are not a master of security person, no problem. Still, you can use a Windows server. It is very difficult to crack Windows server passwords. Okay. almost impossible. Kerberos protocol we use. Okay, so these statements I don't tell, but I will tell. Okay, no problem. So what is a domain controller? Also I told domain already told forest, tree, site, OU, this kind of stuff is also there. So we'll go to that one. Okay, so yeah, we have a little bit time, so then we'll go to a little bit theory also. Guys, here it is. How we have done a practical also I will explain that is. First of all, fix the name and IP address to our server and think what domain name I will put it. So first of all, install ADDS role. Once you done install ADDS role and click on a promote this server to a domain controller. Promote this server to a domain controller. Okay. Next one is, so whenever the wizard is started, add new forest, select add new forest and give your domain name. And the next screen, DNS checkmark is there. Keep the checkmark like that. Don't change it. And there is another option is GC, Global Catalog Server. Okay, Global Catalog Server. Remember, I will have to tell that one also. Okay. So give the password 2 times admin@123 admin@. So this password is when you are installing again, or maybe look at the video which we are installed, that kind of stuff. Okay. Yeah, birth given a name. So I will connect it. So don't worry. So okay. So whenever you the password is belongs to restore mode password, directory restore mode password. Guys, when you are doing something, so please read what the screen is telling. Even you don't understand, but read it. Keep reading, then only you will understand in a one day, so you will get it. So what is the problem? Where is the problem? Okay. Okay. Lot of people know lot of theory knowledge, lot of things like this one, that one, very good meanings, very good definitions. The real people can able to jump and do the solve the problem, or do the things in a correct way and faster. So that is what I'm trying to say here. Net BIOS. Net BIOS is nothing but your domain net BIOS means name, main domain name. Main domain name is a domain net BIOS name. Okay. Then finally install. So restart. So it will verify the prerequisitions is must be completed. So prerequisitions will be failed only in a two ways. One is when you change the computer name, but you didn't restart your computer. You change a computer name, but you didn't restart the computer after changing name. Second one is you didn't give a DNS address. So compulsory you should give DNS address. Okay, you should give a DNS server's address. What is your DNS server? Ourself only. So give the same only. Next one is once it's restarted, login with the domain name /administrator automatically shows. Give the password, login. Okay, so that's it about installation of services. Okay, of course, I already told how to create a OU, adding a user. These are a step by step, guys. Why I'm telling like this? Sometimes the interviewer may ask you question like a step. Tell me in a step by step. How to create a OU? What is a OU? Organizational unit. Okay, so OU is organizational unit. It's a logical component. It means in the domain or a domain controller, we create a users, computers, groups like that, right? So we organize the users, groups, and computers into separate OUs. Like you have a music files, you have a video files, you have a technical means like our video files, class video files, other video files. You don't mix it, right? So you will separately all Windows Server video files, all Linux video files, all networking video files, all TikTok video files, all Instagram video files, or all bakwas like YouTube videos files, like that. So you'll separate it. So like that, we'll organize based on the different departments, different organization wise. You can able to do it. Like for example, I created developer, HR, IT support, OUs, and you can create a different users in the OUs. So based on your requirement. Next one is why we need this OU. Very important question, guys. OU is a very important, very small and very important. That's why I'm telling again. Okay, OU is a very small and very important. To apply a group policies and delegation control. To apply a group policies and delegation control over the OU. That's why it is OU is very important. And important is organizing users and computers and groups. So then we know where is the user, okay, based on the type of user or a profession based or like that. We know the separation of users very easily, groups easily, computers easily. We can able to identify them where it is located. And another hand, it is we can easily apply the group policies and we can give the control to a particular user over the OU. Control over the OU. Okay. The next one is how to add a client. How to add a OU to how to add a OU, how to create a OU or how to add a OU. First, go to Active Directory users and computers. First, go to Active Directory users and computers. Then right click on the domain name. Right click on the domain name and new select organizational unit. So go to new organizational unit and create a organizational unit. That's it. That's it. Okay. Next, how to create a user, how to add a user. First of all, important is how to add a user. So make sure that again, go in a server, activate users and computers, go to particular OU and right click on the OU and go to new and create a user. Create a user. That is last class we shown in a practically. Just I'm telling the steps. The step wise without a screen, you have to tell. Yeah, I have a server. It is already open. I can show you that one, right? So I can show you how to do it. That is very easy with in front of the screen. Anybody will tell. Maybe some people won't tell, but still in front of a screen, no problem. But without a screen, you have to remember what step you done. That's why I'm telling like this. So I'm not saying something. Okay, I'm telling you steps. Just what you done. So you have to without the screen, you have to tell. Okay, how to partition the disk. You don't have any partitioning this kind of screen, right? That's why every practical I'm trying to show you at least 2 times in a Windows 10. Okay, but you guys are not not some, yeah, everyone, most of the batches, all batches, not only in your batch. I'm telling, usually people think it is very easy to, so why we are doing this one like that. Okay, once you learn, it means you know it. That's it. Okay, practice like maybe how to prepare kind of stuff or because once you know it. That's it's very simple. Okay, so next one is how to add a client to domain. So in a client, so you must go to, okay, how to add a client to domain. So how to add it? First, change the IP address. First important is change your IP address. Like I change my IP address according to my server IP. So I already I told keep the first ring or like this because we are in a lab. We are don't mind about much networking related, and that too we are in our own private network. Our own private network. It is not even in your home private network. Also, it is completely your laptop private network. So keep it first three are like same. Either it is class A, class B, class C. So basically first three are same is won't give you confusion. And last one will be changed like a 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. I given a 10 or 11, no problem. And this is 224. So that is my DNS server. My server is my DNS server. So I given a DNS server. So first of all, I change my IP address. Next one is how to ping to my server. I have to ping to my server from the client with the IP address and as well as a name. This is my server name. This is my domain name. Okay. This is my server name. This is my domain name. So complete name, I have to ping it. So if ping is successful, then go to the next steps. What are the next steps? So go to, because it's a Windows 10, go to settings, about, then go to rename this PC advanced, rename this PC advanced. Okay, rename this PC advanced. So then go to change, and then go change the computer name and change the domain name also, because you are changing at a time, so it will throw maybe error later, but normally only one error. That's not a okay error only. It's just a warning. It is okay. This will be successful once you are giving username and password. Okay, it shows welcome to domain. Okay, then we click OK. Okay, then it is asking for restart now and restart. So once you are restarted, so go to your client. In the client only, click on other user, give the username and password, login. So that is your practical. Okay. So why I'm telling guys, sometimes only just a direct a statement. Sometimes it is in interview questions. Step by step explanation. So that is why you must know what to do. Okay, I didn't stop recording yet, so I'm continuing because Bharat sent a ID. So we'll see if his problem is we can able to solve, then we can solve it. Because a lot of people get a problem with the networking related. So because of that one also, some people unable to complete the practical. So how to solve it also we'll see. But accept this one and minimize your screen also. Okay, good. So server client, both are there. So whatever you configure, but I will check the basic things. Yeah, very good. VMnet one. So 1 GB, 1 GB, 35. Okay, so 1 GB means low. No problem. Yeah, VMnet one. Good. So first is physical connection is verified. Local server. So we already learned OS layer, right? So then based on the OS layer from bottom to top or top to bottom, you can verify the issues. So you given a win-s1, 1 GB effect it is.
Yes, sir.
So meanwhile, we'll verify what is a IP address here given. Okay, so we need IP config / all also. Yeah. Your DNS server, you given a different network. So 192.168.100.10. Why it is? Yeah, here is see it is. It's a both are different networks. So this is 192.168.100.10. So this is your server, right?
Yes, sir.
So which IP you will want to do? This IP or other IP? You want to do with this IP address?
Other IPs.
172 you want it? I'm asking you want to do with the 172 series or
Yes, sir.
you want to do with the 192 series? Anything.
172.
Okay, first change the IP address. You should not do like that, but I'm doing it. No problem. Okay. Make sure both server and client must have a 250 also okay now, Parle. Must have a same IP and same network. That is important. Second one is, once you fix the static IP to the server, better not to change like this, guys. Don't change the IP address of server because it's a DNS related problems may occur. And always according to your server. First of all, we should plan it. Then only according to the server, only we have to do it. So you can see 170.16.0.250, and this is, and here also DNS server is different. So because there I will change. So, what happened? Yeah, very good. And CPA.cpl. You know how to configure, just a mistake only. See, it is in the details. The DNS server. So it is a old one. So then we'll change it to new one. IPv4 properties. So this is first we'll change it to server IP address. That's all you are putting, but both are in different logical networks. 250 I given, right?
250, yes, sir.
250. Instead of 200, for I put it 20 only. Okay, because normal client PC is like a 10, 11, 12 like that. It will be there. Okay, so instead of 200, I will give it just for hobby purpose only. There is no differences. Okay, so IP address is updated. Now what to do? Just first ping to the server. So I changed my server IP address to 250. Usually I use 250 for anything. So yeah, next ping. The first one is your server name win-s1 conteso.com. So you have to put a name like win-s1 dot conteso.com. Okay. We are pinging with a name also. Meaning is your DNS server is working. Meaning is your DNS server is working. Second one is in a client you configure DNS IP correctly. That's the first thing actually. In a client PC you configure DNS IP address correct. DNS IP address correct. Next, server client is communicating. Server client is communicating. DNS IP address configured correctly and DNS server is working. So these three things will be confirmed by one single ping command like this. Ping with a FQDN full name. Okay, so compulsory guys. You must do this one before you add the client to domain. Of course, we are in the troubleshooting. There is only one other problem you will get it. It means all problems are solved only two ways. One is a firewall, of course. If firewall is a problem, then we'll see that one firewall disable or enable if you got a problem. But see, sometimes you will get this name, but you don't get this name. If you don't get these records or you don't get these records, okay, these records like this or like this. Okay, so your DNS is exactly like for Active Directory type, not working. DNS works, but Active Directory related DNS is won't work. Now I try to add the client to domain. You do it.
Yes, sir, I will do it.
Do it now. Down. Wait now. Any option, no problem, no problem. Change the name. We can put a C1 also, no problem, so it's not a big deal. And next, domain name, contoso.com. Spelling mistake. One guy is keep sending me message like, yes, sir, not adding, not adding, not adding. What happened? Yeah, it's working now. So put a administrator password, type it. Okay, what happened? He done a domain name mistake, spelling mistake. Okay, password and yeah, remove the cap lock. Even though username password is also very important. Some people do mistake while they do username and password, and domain is not adding. It is like that. It is, yeah, very good. Congratulations, you finally joined. Click OK, OK, restart, and bye bye.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Guys, it's a okay. Click OK now. Let's restart. Let's say admin part. Close, then only you can close. Yeah. Click on restart now. You have to click. Okay. Now this is how to join. So if you go to the server also, you can look at whether it is joined or not. Okay. Guys, understand how to solve the problem.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So that's it. Okay. I'm closing this one. So because already we got the point, and just take a 5 minutes break. Just a minute, 1 second. Just keep it like that. I will tell. Okay. So I'm closing this one. So this is how to troubleshoot network related issues. Okay. That is it. Take a break and be back in a 10 minutes, just a 10 minutes. These are the very important. Few more things are there. So we will discuss that one also.